my gosh, welcome back to 5 Weeks Garage, and I'm super excited because I get to try something new. Never done this before. I've seen it done, I've seen videos, I've talked to people, but I've never done it for myself. And today we're actually going to build a birthday present. So let's just say you're in the kitchen. You're chopping, chop, getting all the vegetables ready, getting all your meats ready, getting all the stuff for a gourmet meal that you really want to make for your family or some guests. But you gotta have a cutting board. Well, that's what we're gonna make today. I went to go see my buddy Jerry. This is a great human being, and he has hooked me up with a bunch of his scrap that he had stuff laying around. So we are going to make a butcher block cutting board out of all this material here. Now the good thing is that it doesn't need to be big. Yeah. So we're going to do a 12-inch by 18-inch cutting board. But what kind of materials did I get? A score from Mr. Jerry. All right, so we have some oak planks. We have some walnut. If you don't like that walnut, hey, we got some thicker walnut. We got some white oak. That is a beautiful piece of lumber. We got some maple here. And actually on this particular one, it's got some imperfections in there. I don't call it imperfections. I call that character. And what we're going to do is actually fill those in with some glue and also some black diamond stardust. And what that's going to do is keep the glue from, you know, just basically soaking right in. And it's going to fill that in. You sand it off. It's still going to have the black, because it is black, bug mark, but it's going to build character. But it'll be flat and it'll be food safe, don't worry. So what else we have? All right, so this one here I have never heard before, but it is a beautiful piece of lumber. It is a Padauk, P-A-D-A-U-K. I don't know, that's just what the label says. But anyway, this is a beautiful piece. I don't know if I'll use it, only because I want to give back everything I don't use, so that Mr. Jerry can make something for himself. Anyway, so what we're actually going to do here is cut all these down to the 18 inches. That's how long we're going to need it. Now, you have probably seen them to where you have different designs. This one's going to be basic. It is my first one, and I just want to be able to do it nice my first time. And then I'm going to go out to some reclaimed lumber places and actually get some decent stuff, so I'm not mooching off of Mr. Jerry all the time. Then we're going to hit it through the planer. We want to make sure everything is true. Hit it with the skill saw. Or with the table saw, hit it with the chop saw. But hey, oh, speaking of which, I gotta show you this. 10-inch table saw. Very basic, very small, but check it out. Look, brand new blade. That's right, I have not changed this blade. Oh look, here's my original one. I have not changed this thing in like 15 years. It drives Ray Perkins crazy because I never change my blades. I just keep sharpening them every now and again. But if it's still cutting, just push harder. But not finished there, because bam, 60 tooth on my 12-inch compound miter saw. It's all new. This is like a new page for me. Right now, I need a pencil. Why, look at there, got me a pencil. Wasn't that fast? Hey, power of editing, baby. Anyway, let's mark these off at 18 inches. We're gonna put it on the chop saw. Get them down to size so we can at least manage it. And we'll set up the table saw, rip them down to where we need it to be, and then we're going to hit it on the planer and make sure every edge of these things are perfect, because I do not have a joiner. If you have a joiner and you want to send it to the channel, P.O. Box 821, Holly Springs, North Carolina 27540. Send it. I'm sure shipping will be really cheap. Hopefully you're local. Alright, so we got everything planed down and they are looking sweet. I really wish we had smell-o-vision because this wood smells great, especially this stuff. Man, love working with some beautiful wood. But anyway, this is what we have. So we have the maple, we have the oak, we have the walnut, the oak, the maple, and then we have the Padauk. So anyway, if you saw it before, I was a little bit more than 6 inches. Now we're almost right at 6 inches because I'm planing it down. Now planing is so much easier than sanding. because you just run it to the machine and it is beautiful. Now all these little stuff here will sand out, and if we can't sand them out, then we'll fill them. But anyway, a couple little things for quick tips. On your saw, use the tools that you have. I have a little guard right here. If you set this to 18 inches from your blade, every cut is going to be exactly the same. You just stick it to your guard, bam, cut it, all ready to go. Now we're all ready to go with this. Now it's over to the table saw, strip it down to the length we need. Now we want 2 inches, we're going to do about 2 1/8. So when we plane it down, we'll get us that 2 inches. If we're a little bit off, it's okay. It doesn't have to match each one. Whew. And don't forget your spectacles. All right, I feel a little dusty. It's good thing I have these fans on. But hey, check it out. This is basically what it's going to look like, except for it's going to be a lot darker because we're going to have to put some oil on it. We do have some good stuff right over there in that bag. We're going to show you that here later. But I think it'll look alrighty. I do like the red. It makes it pop, I think. I'm not sure if I might change up the order of this. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll put, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But what we have to do now is to make sure that you mark the ends. Or mark the top, whichever. Which one's the top, which one's the bottom. The only reason why I say that is because things are this one, nope, not that one, this one. Alright, I have a huge imperfection right here. We're going to put that on the bottom. So, I'll put my arrow going up, up, whoop, got it downer. There you go. Now I got them all going up. Alright, got all my arrows. This thing is ready to be glued. So what we're going to use is this stuff here. It is waterproof, interior, exterior, and it is Type Bond 3. Yeah, that's what we're going to use. And not only that, we're going to, some people use rollers, some people use paint brushes. We're going to use a sponge. There you go. Now, I'm going to use this board right here. It's a somewhat flat surface. It is relatively flat. Once I clamp them down, I got an assortment of clamps here. Some are good, some are bad. I have to say I need to invest in some good clamps. These right here are nice and long. I should be able to squish this guy and get all the glue, the excess glue, to come out and actually stick, because what's going to hold this thing together is the glue. Anyway, I gotta go get my sponge. I lost my sponge. Oh, look, I got my sponge. Also got my mangoes. I just dropped one. I love dry mangoes. I love coffee too, and I haven't gotten any from you guys. Send it to the post office. P.O. Box 821, Holly Springs, North Carolina. 27540. Send me some coffee. Got ourselves some glue. I'm gonna clean it off. All right, make sure all of your arrows are going in the right direction. All right, once you get everything where you need it to be, that's where the clamps are gonna come in. All right, there you go, all clamped together. Now, you're not gonna be able to get this any tighter than what you can. Don't worry about it, just clamp it down and then walk away. But now it's dinner time, so I'm gonna close up the shop, go down, get some grub. Isn't that pretty? Anyway, we'll see you on a new day later. Hey, guess what? A new day, that's right. We are getting ready to pull off the clamps. All the glue should be dry. I hope. Should be, because it's been sitting here overnight. Anyway, let's get these clamps off and see what our product's looking like. All right, kind of looks like a big block of wood, because it is. Now it's all one piece. It does have glue on it. It is not very smooth, but we're getting ready to change that. So yeah, once again, got some walnut, got some oak, got some maple. Yeah. Anyway, let's put this through the planer and see if we can flatten this out, because we got a lot of sanding to do. And then we got some decisions to make, like whether or not we want to make a drip edge around it or just leave it like it is. We need to hit it on the router and kind of edge off the sides, but hey, planer's over here. Come with me. All right, if you used the planer before, you know it's loud. Get some hearing protection, and it throws chips everywhere. Get some eye protection. Woo. Oh, that thing makes some noise. Hey, nice and flat. So this is basically what it's going to look like. I do like the red in the middle, kind of stands it out, but I don't have a very great planer. If you have a good planer, you probably could skip a couple of these steps, but now we got to sand this thing down. It does have some imperfections into the wood. You want to try to get as most of those out as possible, because bacteria is going to grow in there, food's going to get in there, everything's going to get in there, and it's going to be bad for you. So what we're going to do now is start sanding it. What are we going to sand it with? Well, like I said, my planer's not the greatest, so I'm going to start with some 60. Then, of course, the same thing as regular sanding. We're going to bump it up. We're going to hit 100. We got 150. We got 220. We have 320. What else do we have here? Ooh, we got 1,000. We even got 1,200. Now, you don't need to go quite that dramatic, but the smoother you get this, the better it's going to be in the future. We still need to put some oil on it and wax it, whatever, to actually seal it. Do not use polyurethane. It's not edible, so please use anything that you have that is edible, so you can eat it. You know, people eat glue, so I guess glue's okay. But yeah, we're gonna speed this up a little bit because you do not need to see me going sanding all this crap. All right, respirator, well, dust mask, and we're gonna get to town. Ooh, that's a lot of sanding. Not done yet. But what we want to do now is actually fill in some of these little bug holes. Now, there's two ways of actually doing this. One, you can put some glue in there, sand it, and then the sawdust will actually, or sanding dust, will get into the hole and actually fill it in, and it shouldn't soak in. But we're not going to do that on this one. So this is one side, the other side is pretty clean. Now, we're going to use this product called Black Diamond. Now, Mr. Jerry, being as awesome as he is, lend me this little thing, and you only want to use a pinch. And so we're going to grab our glue. We're going to put a little bit in the palm of our hand. You can use a piece of board or whatever. I'm just going to use the palm of my hand because they're already jacked up. So now we're doing this, you only use a little bit. You don't need a lot. So there you go. All right, just a little bit in my palm. I'm gonna open up my Black Diamond, and the rest of it goes back to Mr. Jerry. All right, so got it on my fingers. I'm just gonna make a little paste. There you go, just like that. I'm gonna try not to get it on my camera. And take that, fill in. All right, see what I mean about only needing a little bit? I got a lot left in my hand. I'm gonna have to wipe that off. Check the other side. All right, the other side is pretty clean, so it's only those two spots. So I'm gonna let that dry, hit it with some sandpaper. It's gonna look beautiful, but you'll still get the characteristics of the wormholes or the bug holes or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, don't worry, no bugs in there. Go clean my hands. Be right back. All right, should be dry enough. All right, now when you're doing with sandpaper and glue, you want to avoid that. So only use an edge if you're using a palm sander or whatever. So they'll only gall up that, but it'll leave the rest for, well, reuse. So there you go. So you can see the little mark there and a little mark there. Apparently it wasn't fully dry because I still got a little bit of red in there, but hey, that is fine. I'm liking it. Let's look at the other side. Looking good. All right, any imperfections that you see, any gouges, any divots, whatever, you gotta get those out. But I think we're in good shape. Now it's time to go from 60 to, I think, 100. What do I got? I don't know what I got. Yep, 60 to 100. Sand it down. Oh man, I am so excited how well this thing is actually turning out. It is it's not quite a mirror glass, but it's pretty darn close. Went all the way up to 1,000 grit. Don't really need to. You could probably get away with probably 400, maybe 600 or something like that. But we went with 1,000 because I could. But now I got to clean up the edges here. Dang, I wasn't 100% on keeping them true, but it's okay. We have a saw to do that. But before you even cut, make sure your saw is trued up. Let me show you what I mean. All right, so this is a Bosch 12-inch double compound slider. Everything on it, I love it, except for that right there. I'm like a ½ degree off. And so what I did is took my square, put it down here, so I'm against my fence, coming down, and then I try to slide my saw back and forth, and make sure it's true. Now, as you can see, it is about a ½ degree off. No bueno, especially when you're cutting 12 inches long, because if it's a ½ degree on one side, it could be like a ¼ inch on the other side. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the math for you. Dang, you can do it. But anyway, it's a double compound, so you gotta make sure that it is straight up and down as well, because you do not want this cut to be crooked. No, the next thing you want to do is bring it down and make sure your saw blade is straight up and down as well. And I am not. All right, there you go. Lock it in. All right, see how far off that is. Again, about a ½ degree. So make sure your saw is true. So this guy here is true in both directions. So let's take a deep breath, cut off these ends, and make sure it's just perfect and beautiful, like me. That's what my mama told me. Boy, I tell you, a new blade works wonders, baby. Anyway, got a nice clean edge on both sides. It looks like I trued it up pretty decently. Anyway, we're just gonna go ahead and sand these down and match the rest of it, and then we need to router this edge because it is a little bit, it's a little bit too sharp. But anyway, still debating whether or not to put a drip edge on it. I'll let you know, because you'll see it. Anybody else excited but me? I could be the only one. That's all right, because I'm excited. Over here now on the router, and you got to figure out the best router bit for your application. I actually won this whole set in a raffle. They're okay. They're not the greatest in the world, but hey, they're gonna work for what we need to do. So what I did was actually grab a piece of scrap. Now this is still walnut. It's scrap, but we're gonna find something else to do with it. But what I wanted to do was to check the radius of my router bit. Now I just have a ½ moon on this thing. There you go. So always use a test one. Let me get my headphones, because this thing is loud. All right, so went ahead and just hit it really quick there. Now I've already adjusted up and down. You can go higher to make a big one, go lower to make a small one, whatever. That's up to you. It's your project. Make it your own. But right now, we're gonna take our practice piece and enjoy it, because we're gonna do it on the finished product, and hopefully I don't mess it up. All right, slightly rounded. I'll take some sandpaper and actually just make the radius a little bit smoother. But do the other side, and we should be done with this step, baby. Oh my gosh, almost done, baby. All right, so this is what we got. Stuff here for cutting boards, because that's what it says on it. But anyway, it's walrus oil, and ideally what I would love to do is actually make a boat for this thing. Pour the whole jug in there and then pour it back in there, because you can reuse it. But I think for now what we're going to do is just going to take our little foam brush. We're going to coat this thing down, and then we're going to come back and coat it again, and then coat it again. And the main reason why you do that is because this is going to actually seal the wood. We're going to be using this for cutting. It's gonna have scratches, it's gonna have all this other stuff in there. That's kind of really why I want to soak it. If I get time a little bit later, I'll do another video on soaking this thing and then just splice the two together. But for right now, I'm just gonna coat it down, so let it soak in, come back later, do it again and again. The more times you do it, the more it's going to soak in, and the longer it's going to last. Yes, I think I said it before. I'm excited. Man, this thing came out great. Look at this. Bam. All right, now I just put another coat of the walrus oil on there, and now I gotta let it sit there for at least 12 to 24 hours. So tomorrow morning I should be able to give it to my CFO for her birthday. So hopefully she'll enjoy it. Anyway, more than likely I'll be the one using it, but that's okay. It's gonna look beautiful. It's gonna be in the shop. Thank you, Mr. Jerry, for all the equipment, all the wood, all the everything. You're a fantastic human being. Also, Ray Perkins, I've been giving him a call, try to get some pointers. Both of those are my resident mentors when it comes to woodworking stuff, because both of them do fantastic work. So thank you to both of them. But anyway, I need to shut down the shop. I need to go in and take a shower because I got some house guests, and oh, I made something else for it too. Got a hold of some cedar, made a couple bowls. Kind of worked out all right, except for this one I kind of got a little too deep. See if it's still wet. Nope, a little too deep. Ran into the holes. Ran into my screws holding my stuff on. But hey, they look good. It's a little piece of cedar. Came out of a big old block. Came out of an old building or something. I don't know. But hey, hopefully you learn a little something here. Hopefully it inspires you to go out there and get some stuff done. If you like this project and you want one, contact me down in the description. I'm gonna get you up with Mr. Jerry. He's retired. He's got plenty of time, and it will look and operate a whole lot better than this one. So let me know. I'll get you in touch with them and see if he wants to make you one. But for now, get out there and make it yourself. A planer is a couple $100. You know, sanders, it's fine. Just get new blades because they work like a champ. So check out all the other stuff. See you guys later. Stay tuned. We got more stuff to do. Bye. Later.